na 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 diddly. We've reached SHIP, the Springfield Heights Institutional Podcast. I'm your host, the Orange Leprechaun, Jay Crestmere, and I'm joined by my partner in crime and fellow bounty hunter. The slogan of our organization is Friends Catching Fiends. John Fitzgerald O'Malley Fitzpatrick O'Donnell, the Edge D, a.k.a. the Green Leprechaun.
How's it going?
Alright, today we are reviewing an episode called Sex Pies and Idiot Scrapes, which of course is a parody of the 1988 or 89 indie film Sex, Lies, and Videotape, which kind of launched the indie film movement in the late 80s.
See, I knew it was like Sex, Lies, but then as I went to go look at it again, I was like, oh, Idiot Scrapes, okay, videotapes.
Yeah, so this is the premiere of season 20 of The Simpsons, and it's an episode that we both thought was absolutely hilarious.
Is it at the beginning of the season or the end of the season that they'll have lasted longer than Gunsmoke?
I don't know. But I'm just happy they're going to last longer than Gunsmoke.
Yeah, I mean, like I've told you before, I've been watching The Simpsons since it used to be on Thursday nights, which is at least 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah, I think I said before that the people who grew up watching The Simpsons are now old enough to write for it.
Yeah, they said that on the commentary. They said it's one of the best. That's why it's going so long, because people who grew up loving it, like that's just the greatest thing ever. I mean,
I think other than like Days of Our Lives or all those soap operas, this is the only show where you could really say that.
But really, who grew up watching soap operas?
I don't know. I'm just saying this is.
I know.
This is one of the few shows that's gone long enough to do that. So, I'm going to try to get a Simpsons spec and write one, because I just have a hilarious idea for one. What was this episode about, John?
This episode starts out as St. Patrick's Day minus beer, which leads to trouble. Homer gets locked up, and he goes for a bail bond. While he's there, he meets a bounty hunter and decides to become one. Which would you say is the A story or the B story? Would you say Homer's the A story or Marge is the B story?
I think Homer's the A story and Marge is the B story, if I had to guess.
That's why I was describing his story first, and he becomes a co-bounty hunter with Ned Flanders.
And they do fairly well bounty hunting, but then Homer ends up missing his court date and Ned has to track him down. Meanwhile, Marge gets a job at an erotic bakery.
Was it just me? I know this is skipping towards the end of the episode, but did that chase scene just last a little too long, like Family Guy a little too long?
I love the chase scene. I don't know what you're talking about. I thought it needed some parkour, but...
Some what?
Parkour.
What's that?
It's a style of urban running that originated in France or Belgium.
I know what you're talking about, France.
Yeah, I think it was France or Belgium where it originated, but France is where it's really big.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, they did it in Casino Royale, but just some of the stuff on YouTube just blows my mind. Stuff what those traceurs can do.
Oh, I know. Just imagine how big of a workout that is too.
It's so awesome. That's what I thought it needed, but I wrote down that I thought the scene where they were running up the stairs of the collapsing building was absolutely awesome.
Oh, I know.
That would work so well in a live action movie. I just love to do a scene like that.
Has it been done before?
I don't know. It probably has in a movie I've either never seen or I'm not remembering right now. But
okay.
I just thought that was really cool. So
let's go back to the beginning with the Irish, with the Irish people.
Did you? The one thing that was pretty cool was that this episode started on time, because during most of the season for The Simpsons, Fox shows the NFL, and the NFL is congenitally incapable of ending their games on time.
Was it on the Simpsons movie where they had because I know the Simpsons love to make fun of the Fox network, all the time. But they've been we should do it. No, I'm sorry.
Hold on, Emily. Insert a gag. I'm gonna start saying stuff about the Fox network, and John, you dub me over by saying providing quality programming. Okay, so they riff on Fox all the time because Fox has just put out some of the most god-awful shows ever. They're run by a right-wing nutjob. You're supposed to dub me over with providing quality programming as I'm talking.
Okay. The Simpsons has provided quality programming
hold on.
for
I'm gonna
for
start
many.
and then you dub me over. So
Okay.
Fox has put on some of the most god-awful shows on the air. They're run by...
Quality programming, such as shows like Futurama.
Okay, so... Yeah, so what were you wondering about?
There was, I can't remember if it was in the movie or if it was one of the episodes where, like, they do this thing on the bottom of the screen, and they have some animated football players, like, watch NFL on Fox, and Marge is like, you guys, get out of here, and she sprays them with, like, bug spray, and then they, like, keel over and die.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And, like, one of the Simpsons gags, one of the couch gags, Homer rips the Fox logo off the screen and stomps on it.
I remember that, too. No, I mean,
I'm sorry.
I don't have anything against Fox, really, or the NFL, but it just upsets me when the games run over. I mean, I realize that can't be done, but cut down the post-game show. So the Simpsons can start on time, because I don't like having to record 3.5 hours worth of stuff to make sure I get the Simpsons.
Seriously, I agree with that.
So that's all I'm going to say about that. Did you notice on the opening they just cut to the cars? They didn't have Bart doing a chalkboard gag or anything like that?
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who saw that.
Well, I mean, if you watch a lot of recent shows, they've cut down on the openings so they get more time, and they do the credits during the opening part of it.
Well, yeah, I've listened to some commentaries, and they said that that's the problem, is Fox is putting in more commercials, so they're having to cut down a lot.
Other than Fringe, which only has 90-second commercial breaks.
Fringe does?
Yeah.
And there's a show about Fringe on the Pause and Ends network called Fringe Dwellers. Go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, actually, Fringe is a pretty cool show. I don't know if you're watching it now, but...
I heard it's X-Files, kind of, but with science.
I mean, it's only 2 episodes in so far, but I've been entertained, so... I don't know if it'll keep my interest, but so far what I've seen has been pretty good.
And that's saying a lot.
I think
you're picky.
I think Joshua Jackson and John Noble have pretty good chemistry. Anna Torv sort of gives me a Cate Blanchett vibe. But that's enough about Fringe. I think we might be seeing more Simpsons episodes where they just go to the cars coming in and just have a couch gag and not a chalkboard gag. But the Boba Fett couch gag was just hilarious.
What do you think about the parade? Like, what was it? The potato boy who doesn't look like a potato or something like that?
No, the boy who most resembles a potato.
Yeah, then there was the small Irish family.
Yeah, who I thought was supposed to be Cartman. The small Irish family has like 20 kids. But I wanted to say one thing that started this, though. They had a great Mr. Burns moment at the very beginning where the river was green. And Mr. Burns like, that's because of my nuclear plant. Because of that...
But now that I've told you...
That was just a great Mr. Burns moment. I mean, the recent seasons haven't had a lot of great Mr. Burns moments.
Well, time to open up another beer. Sorry about that background noise.
Are you drinking Duff or Fudd?
Well, they stopped making Fudd a long time ago after all them hillbillies went blind, so I have to drink Duff.
But you're not drinking Duff Zero?
No. That's the alcohol-free Duff?
No, I'm just making up stuff by throwing... What about Cherry Duff? I'm just throwing stuff that Coke and Pepsi have done onto Duff to see if it could be funnier.
What about Duff? Was it crystal clear Duff?
Oh! Isn't that just called, like, liquor?
Alright, so after the Mr. Burns thing, there was the parade. And we saw Potato Boy, which we just mentioned.
Yeah, we also had the hilarious float with the straight Catholic priest, where there are only 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the parade was led by the Leprechaun, so that confirms it's not just in Ralph's imagination Halloween episodes.
But I think when he did tell Ralph to burn stuff, that wasn't his imagination.
Yeah, but we have seen the Leprechaun before.
Yeah.
We also had Mayor Quimpy's very long name, which was Joseph Fitzgerald O'Malley Fitzpatrick O'Donnell Diage Quimby.
Isn't it weird that he has the same name as me?
Yeah. It is kind of weird. It's almost like you just borrowed it.
No, why would I do that? I have the same name every week.
So do I.
Then there was the Ulsters.
Yeah, they had the IRA man who said he was going to bomb the British tourist bus.
Well, no, he said back in the day or something like that, right?
Yeah, back in the day we would have torched that bus or something.
Well, no, he said something and then the bus rolled by.
Yeah.
He's like,
They also talked about how they introduced the Shamrock Shake. Isn't a Shamrock Shake just a vanilla shake with green food coloring?
Yeah, and they introduced a couple other things, but I don't quite
River
remember
dancing.
what else they introduced.
The dancing where you don't move your arms.
Who Dennis Leary said that the Irish came up with that so they could not dance and not spill their drinks.
Oh, that I want to see somebody try to do. If somebody wants the greatest viral video ever on YouTube, do river dancing while you're like pouring liquor, and just keep drinking it without moving, without like getting off balance, and just watch as you get progressively drunker. That would be
well.
So
I think
funny.
if you held your glass from the top, like your hand over top of it, it's more stable. So you could possibly do it, and then just like rotate your wrist when you're coming up to drink it. So you could, I can see it feasibly happening.
I just think it would be a hilarious viral video for you.
If we're ever drunk again and we have a video camera, if we're ever drunk together and we have a video camera, we need to do that.
Dude, if I can't even do that sober. I can't even do that river dance style stuff sober.
I can try. I think I'm wide enough to be able to pull it off.
Well, you could always do it with an open violin case otherwise.
An open violin case? Why is that?
So people can throw money at you while you're going down the street.
Oh, okay. Well, they're going down the street while I stay in place.
Yeah.
Alright, so,
So in the parade, they had the Northern Irish dudes who were led by an orange leprechaun. Who, I thought the orange leprechaun was just hilarious, and I hope he's in, like, every episode from now on, because he's one of my new favorite characters.
Better than the green leprechaun?
I want to see the orange leprechaun, Martin Prince, Ralph Wiggum, and old-timey jokes in an episode. And I'd be happy.
See, I think Hulk versus the Thing was genius.
Oh, that was hilarious when they get in the fight.
And then the Hulk is on trial. It's like, Hulk cannot get a fair trial down in downtown Springfield.
No, he was called Mulk, but we also had,
the unibrow baby.
Yeah.
Baby with one eyebrow.
The unibrow baby.
Is this the second St. Patty's Day parade we've seen, or have there been more?
There have been at least two. Because the one bar...
I know of two. I can call up where Bart got drunk.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of right now. Do you remember they also had the half orange and half green aliens from Star Trek?
Yeah.
Which
was that episode Homer versus the 23rd Amendment?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
They do the prohibition thing. So, and as Lisa said, it always comes down to transubstantiation versus consubstantiation. Well, don't all things come down to that?
It's true, actually. When you think about everything in life, it does come down to that.
So, which side of the debate are you on?
Transubstantiation.
Do you even know the difference?
No, I do not.
Okay. Just to let everyone know, he's a Protestant. He believes in transubstantiation, but he has had 4 beers so far.
Yeah, I've had about 6 now, but by the end I'll probably have had about 8 or 9. So
he's had enough that all of my harebrained movie ideas are starting to sound really good. I wish he was a studio executive right now.
I have enough. I've had enough to say that what was that called? Was it Grant Morrison, the one with the cells, and then there's like Mad Mary and stuff.
The Invisibles?
Yeah, I've had enough beers that Invisibles would probably make sense to me right now.
No, I think you need some peyote too.
Well, I could probably get that through my Native American relatives.
Sure.
I'm kidding. I do not, endorse the usage of illicit substances.
Yeah, plus peyote's mostly in the Southwest, and that's not even where your tribe is from.
Yeah, I know.
But he does.
That's not where they're from originally, but the white man moved them there.
He does hunt a hell of a buffalo, and he can scalp like nobody else.
It's true. So when Homer was at the bounty hunter office for the first time, he saw. Who did he see as a parody on somebody else?
Rolf, who I don't think was supposed to be a parody of Dog the Bounty Hunter at all, despite the fact that he looks exactly like him and sounds exactly like. Although he should have.
At least he didn't say the N-word.
Yeah, he didn't say the N-word enough, and he should have said bra a couple times, and told Homer he has to get off the ice.
Get off the ice, man.
The orange leprechaun was also at the bail bondsman too.
With a broken leg, right?
Yeah. So we're going to do Homer's story, and then we'll go to Marge's story, okay?
Yeah, because I got more on Homer's story.
Okay. So, what does it take to become a bounty hunter?
There used to be an online class, but you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Then there was a $10 registration fee, but you can get around that.
And what was Homer's first gag to catch bail jumpers?
Condos.
Yeah. And they attracted Snake because he was sick of the cold shoulder he got at the townhomes of Sterling Point.
And we find out that Snake actually went to Princeton.
Yeah, and we also find out that Snake's girlfriend is pregnant.
Was that the same girl from the episode where Mr. Burns dated her, and then she ended up hooking up with a Snake at the end?
Maybe.
Because she used to be Snake's girlfriend, and then Snake kidnapped him because he wanted her back.
Okay, we also have, so Homer chases Snake, Snake pulls a gun on him and fires, and his life is saved by a piece of bulletproof glass from Flanders. Which raised a big question for me, okay?
Okay.
So, hear me out. Flanders' store is in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Why was he getting his glass from downtown and carrying it all the way to the mall?
Because he bought it from a Christian glass store owner?
Really?
No, there's no explanation.
It would have been funny if it were like bulletproof stained glass or something, but...
Yeah.
So we found out that Flanders still has the Leftorium, and it's across from Just Vinegar in the mall, and he tells people to enjoy their shopping elsewhere. So Homer's and Flanders become a bounty hunting team. Flanders' rule is that they have to
go
do
by the
everything
book.
by the book, and Homer's rule is no diddlies and no diddles or something.
But there was like,
No,
but what if Flanders pull out that he's like he forgot about it? It says like something like all right or Reno or something like that.
Dough. And there's also a store in the back of the mall that is BOO, column S, and more. I noticed that in the background too.
They go on. They catch a couple of successful bounties.
Yeah.
And then they go for Fat Tony, right?
Yeah, they opened their own bounty hunting agency called Good Neighbors Bounty Hunters, Friends Catching Fiends. Homer has a taser, which he says is finally a practical use for electricity. He tases the coffee, croissant, and he does taser electrolysis on his ear.
Yeah.
Who's the first guy they get? Who's the first person that they get who has jumped bail in their new office?
They tried to get the football coach. I remember that.
No, Sideshow Bob. He was the first person who got faxed in.
Oh, that's right.
Ned Flanders goes undercover as a Bible salesman to grab someone.
It was a football coach, or it might have been a wrestling coach. It was Homer's neighbor when Ned moved to whatever. I can't remember what Humble Figurines. Homer moved to that city, and they kicked him out because he had a mustache.
Oh yeah. Okay, so they also were... The song Electric Avenue was playing, and they were a magician, and Homer was in drag as his assistant. And they capture a guy in a box. You know, the box where you take people apart. They also captured Dedrick Tatum, which I thought was hilarious.
I thought it'd been kind of cool if they had Kirk Van Houten in there. I don't know why, I just think that he would have fit.
But Dedrick Tatum is just so funny. He's even
I know.
He's even funnier now that he's dated because Mike Tyson doesn't box anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think Dedrick Tatum he's not based on Mike Tyson, are you sure?
No, I think he's a composite of several people, including Mike Tyson. Of course he's Mike.
Just like
Lucius
Sweet.
is not intended to be Don King at all. Despite the fact that they
No!
look the exact
He's an original
same.
creation like Ricky Rouse and Mama Mutt.
Oh, you dropped the Ricky Rouse line.
Yes, I did.
And this is why we don't have girlfriends, everybody. We are actually at 21 minutes right now in our recording.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
this is our longest episode. Should we speed it up a little bit?
No, let's just keep it going. I'm just letting everybody know, the episode is actually going to be a lot shorter because we've had a lot of stuff we've had to cut out. And, we've had the call being interrupted once, so...
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
true.
how long the actual episode's going to be, I'm just saying how long it's been recording. So our recording could actually end up longer than the episode before it gets edited.
Did you like the AC/DC version? What was
it? It was like BC80 or ADBC.
Yeah, kindly deeds done for free.
Are there actually Christian cover bands that do stuff like that?
I would not be surprised.
No, sadly I wouldn't either. I mean, but I think it would be funnier if you had somebody who did a cover band like that for like jihad songs. And they're all about like jihad.
When Ned went to he went to the bounty hunting office, and they showed a couple different people, if you don't do it, then these guys will do it.
Oh yeah. So at the end, when Homer had to where are we at? Hold on, I wrote it down. Okay. So
I didn't get all the references.
Okay, here's what I found. Okay, I had to skip forward in my notes. So Homer and Ned get in a fight. They break up their bounty hunting partnership, and at the bail bondsman, Ned has to go get Homer, and he said, "If you don't do it, one of these other guys will." And there's an old guy with a chainsaw who looks like the vampire couple from the first episode, or no, second or third episode. There was the girl with the gun leg who was from Grindhouse.
Yeah. There was the bear with raccoon nunchucks.
That was hilarious. I so want to see that guy in another episode.
I'm pretty sure we've seen it before. I would almost bet money that we've seen it before.
Okay, I take back what I said earlier. I want the bear with nunchucks, Orange Leprechaun, Martin Prince, and Ralph Wiggum and old-timey jokes. That's my dream episode. It doesn't have to have anything else.
Martin Prince battling the bear with nunchucks in a sepia tone with old-timey music playing.
Dancing around is he's totally pwned by the bear with nunchucks. That would be so funny. Okay, and the other people, there was one dude who looked like Gene Simmons. I didn't recognize any of the others, but maybe
I didn't either. I'm pretty sure there are references to something.
Seedy-looking people. So let me see if I have any other Homer notes over here. Oh, yeah.
The Batman montage.
Yeah, as they're taking down Dedrick Tatum, he runs out of power in his taser, so he has to charge it in like a cell phone charger. He brings home gifts to his kids. Bart gets a bag full of shell casings, and he said if you're going to hammer them, keep them away from your sisters. And Lisa gets a new, quote, chemistry set.
From a meth lab.
Hey, she can make more money for the family than Homer ever has.
Oh,
I went there. I think it would actually... I know they never do an episode where they did a meth lab, but I think it would be hilarious to see. What do you think?
And is that all with Homer's story?
Let me see. Oh, so when they're waiting for Fat Tony, there were a couple really funny parts. Homer's new method is rolling up the pizza and swallowing it whole so the pepperoni expands in your stomach. And Ned Flanders said that was harder for him to swallow than evolution. We find out Springfield has a train. Other than the monorail.
Monorail.
It rides as softly as a cloud. Is there any chance the track could bend?
Not
on your life.
Not on something, my Hindu friend.
Not on your life, my Hindu friend. So apparently, after Lyle Landley, they got suckered into a new train. Which, right now, would be awesome for a city to have, but with the price of gas...
Well, a town with money is a lot...
It's a little like a mule with the spinning wheel. No one knows how it got it, and darn if they know how to use it. I miss Phil Hartman.
I know.
Is there any chance we could use the Necronomicon to bring it back to life so he could do more Simpsons episodes?
As long as you don't kill a zombie Flanders.
What about Zombie Shakespeare?
Is this the end of Zombie Shakespeare?
It's never the end of Zombie Shakespeare. The zombie bard is eternal.
All right.
This is hands down the nerdiest thing I've ever done in my life, other than when I played WoW with somebody when we were both in the same room.
Did we do that?
No, I did that with Colin.
Okay.
But,
we should have him on sometime. Okay, but,
let's...
on to other stories.
Okay. Other than people that we know that we're going to bring on... Oh, Homer's other method is to put people in the bag.
This episode is in the bag.
What,
That's how I was going to close it out.
What that involves is he takes a plastic bag, puts it over your head, and asphyxiates
until you pass out.
Until you pass out. Which, he might do it a little too long, and you might end up with brain damage. And then you wake up thinking 9/11 was an inside job.
Ooh.
Oh, I went
he
there
went there
again.
He went there.
If you notice, we go there quite regularly. We are now going to the end of the episode, and these are my last notes on the Homer Flanders chase. Our recording time is now actually over the length of the episode, so...
Ooh, we need to speed it up a little bit then.
Yeah, I mean, the episode that the people are listening to at home probably won't be this long, because we have a lot of stuff we need to cut out, and we've had a few... This is at least the second time the call's cut out, so...
Yeah.
When Homer and Flanders are chasing each other, we talked about that a little bit already. Homer gets in a limo and leaves with the Emmy, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
They chase each other on horses, and I mean, it's hard to find a good horse chase nowadays. Over the
It's true, I can't think of the last time.
And Homer said he loved Ned, and then Ned was like, most of the time I've known you, you treated me like dirt. And,
yeah, it's true.
And then Homer said that he hangs on to resentment like a Confederate widow. Oh, he went there, too.
Yes, he did.
I think the last living Confederate widow is Mr. Burns' mom, though.
But she's still alive.
Yeah, or John McCain.
As far as we know. Ooh.
If this comes out after the election, then we should probably cut that part.
What do you mean? He's not going to get elected.
True. During the chase, Ned ends up falling, and Homer tries to rescue him. And so they do So then they cut to a pastiche of the Batman opening sequence, where Ned punches somebody, and the sound effect is diddly. Homer catches Ned, but he forgets to hang on to anything, and they end up falling into wet cement. We find out that Flanders knows the entire Old Testament by heart.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
That is really crazy. I mean, like, I don't know anybody who knows the whole Old Testament by heart, let alone a single book. Because some of those books are quite long.
Yeah. But, so, what was the last book of the Old Testament and the first book of the New Testament, according to Ned Flanders?
I mean, and it's not just according... I guess, unless you're Catholic, Malachi and Mark. Malachi and Matthew, I'm sorry. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John.
Let me find out if that's actually the right order. Because
it is.
Okay, I just want to look, because knowing the Simpsons writers... Yep, Malachi and Matthew. Yet again, Steven Seagal and Chuck Norris get passed up. They never get Oscars, and they don't get their own books in the Bible. Where's the justice in that? Okay, so... And the other thing I noticed, Bart's picture came through, they tore it up.
Well, Ned tore it up without Homer seeing it, right?
No, Homer and Bart were there. Homer was there.
Okay, I didn't think Homer saw it.
And in the end, Homer gets arrested. He spends the night in jail. We see Sideshow Bob getting out. And Marge bakes Homer a cake that says, "To the love of my life."
I thought that was really cute.
I found it a bit sappy, but I thought it would have been funnier if he bit into it and there was a nail file in it.
Yeah.
But I thought it worked. Okay, now we're going to Marge's story, and she gets a job at an erotic bakery, run by a guy named Patrick Farrelly.
And we saw Patty and Selma buying something from the erotic bakery.
Yeah, they were wondering about suggestive cannolis, and that Patty, who's gay, was leering at them.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Maybe she's just bi, I don't know.
But the erotic bakery reminded me of the Saturday Night Live sketch with the erotic bakery.
Oh, with Patrick Stewart?
And the only cake that they do is a picture of a woman going to the bathroom. And nobody else.
I thought they had men going to the bathroom.
They do have one with a man and a woman going to the bathroom that they sell to the gay dudes.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was pretty funny because nobody else found that erotic at all. Like, it's not very erotic.
Speak for yourself, man. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. There are weirder fetishes. So Homer meets Patrick after her thing of cupcakes gets stolen by orphans, and they make a horrible joke about orphans gumming the frosting off, and he throws cabbage at them. And I'm sorry, but I just found that joke completely tasteless.
Well, I think it was not necessarily orphans as much as Irish kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I found that section a bit tasteless, but when Marge gets the job offer, she imagines her different life. And
it's exactly the same.
It consists of her normal life with cakes in the back of her station wagon.
Yeah.
And I thought that was hilarious, because, again, as we discussed in an earlier episode, which will probably actually air later than this.
Yes, it will.
Well, okay, for everybody, I should have said this at the beginning of the episode, I was planning to, but we have recorded 7 or 8 episodes already. And during the season, we're going to do the Simpsons episodes in order. And off-season, we're going to go through the older episodes. So, there was an episode where John and I got into quite a spat over whether we felt that the show was being nihilistic towards suburbia.
Yeah.
And I felt that it was.
At times, I'll give you at times. I just think you read into it too much sometimes.
I think I really liked that scene because I thought it was getting into that again, and I just find the entire idea of the suburban housewife to be pretty much horrible on every imaginable level. So, I thought it was nice that they were skewering it, and I think Mad Men, which is also probably one of my favorite shows of all time, does that incredibly well. So, I've now alienated the soccer mom audience, who will now be listening to Sarah Palin's podcast instead of mine.
No, that's the hockey moms.
Whatever. So, back to Marge's story. We had the Au Naturel bakery where she's working, and he made an exact replica of Dr. Hibbert's... Actually, that's not what you're thinking. Okay, yes it is. It's his penis. There was a really uncomfortable scene with Skinner and Chalmers, which was just hilarious.
What was it that you think that dropped in there?
I don't know. They have to eat both sides, and they know they're safe when their lips meet in the middle. So
I would assume a male organ.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing. So, and they also had... Where did Marge hide her erotic baking? The one place Homer would never look.
I don't remember. Where was it?
The vegetable bin.
Oh, yeah.
So then Homer and Marge make up, and they take a shower with the cake, which is just
disturbing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And there were also the extra long Twinkies that were needed for Mr. Smithers' commitment party. No, his commitment ceremony.
Further,
okay.
Strengthening the.
What do you mean further strengthen? It's like Clay Aiken. Even if he never comes out, we already know.
Well, I think to me the first obvious. I mean, besides they usually hinting around.
In the first episode he was in, they made a gay reference. No, I'm sorry. In the second episode he was in, Burns said, "I love you, Smithers," and Smithers said, "The feeling is more than mutual, sir."
True. I was gonna say
been there from the start.
I was gonna say Homer's phobia when John's out with the Simpsons and he's like,
"Oh yeah, don't do this to me, Waylon."
So this is your sick grandmother.
Okay, so do we have anything else to say about this episode? I think, as you can tell, we both really liked it.
I did. I love. I mean, I think, like I said, some people say the Simpsons are going downhill. I think that they're out of their mind. I mean, I
agree.
Okay, I was saying, like we said before to each other, there's no real bad episodes. Just episodes that we prefer more than others.
I agree. I saw this hilarious one from 1 or 2 seasons ago called The Wife Aquatic, where they went to like a resort town that was totally run down.
Yeah.
I'd missed it, but I had never laughed so hard at all. It's even funnier that it starts with like a 30-second old-timey sketch and a silent movie, and I was like, this is awesome.
Was it the resort town of Marge's childhood, right?
Yeah, Barnacle Bay. Where it turned into like a ghetto after all the Yum Yum fish went away.
Yeah.
So, do we have anything else to say? Or is this episode in the bag?
I think this episode's in the bag. Just don't hold it too long or I might get brain damage.
Ooh. You know, if you wake up and suddenly you think it's a great idea to make a Geico Cavemen show. Oh, I went there again. If you wake up and Buckminster Fuller's ideas actually seem plausible, then I may have held it this week.
Alright, this is John D.
This is Jay Kressner, and this episode is In the Bag!